What up, nerds? It's Jason here from Custom Cans, and after the Christmas festivities where we did our gift exchange, for some reason, no one wanted to take any of these headphones home that we got from China. And I thought it'd be fun to play a game of what the hell's inside these things. They're so light, some of them. I can't believe that there's even products and there's anything in there. There's batteries and all kinds of stuff because they're Bluetooth. The dark ones, they're solid. I like these. The rest, these two, very, very light. I have to pin them down to stop them floating away. So first of all, let's be very scientific and plug them into the measurement rig and see what we're looking at frequency response wise. Compare the Sony, Apple and Duck headphones. Okay, so first off, my personal favourites, the Duck headphones. These ones I think look legit, and I will be modifying these to take better drivers. Or tune them. Also, there's something very, very wrong with them from what I remember sound-wise. Right, okay, let's have a look. Okay, so as you can see, a lot of bass and mid-bass and very little treble on those. So very warm sounding. Some may say muddy. I don't know. Apple, I've heard good things about the Apple AirPods Max, so I'm expecting to see pretty decent frequency response. I've got the headband that doesn't stretch out to the size of a human head. Right, let's have a look. Okay, so you can see with the Apple AirPod Max, you've got a higher mid-range, so in that vocal range it's going to pick them out a bit more. It's between sort of 500 and 1000 hertz is pretty much all of your sound on those. It's the green line on this chart, and then we've got a big dip around 4K, and then a huge mountain around 6K. So if you really like 6 kilohertz and sort of around 500 to 1000 kilohertz, if those are your favorite frequencies, Apple AirPods Max, they are the business. Okay, and another well-renowned headphone is the Sony something X5. Very, very light, these ones. Yeah, so really going to be good for walking around. Let's get those on the rig. Oh. These appear to have left and right swap round, which is an unusual decision by Sony. So the left and right are switched on those. The Sonys are all over the shop, aren't they? So they've got no bass. Again, another big hump from about 300 hertz to maybe 1000 hertz. Then they drop off a cliff and then come back up again at around 9K. So an unusual tuning on those. And this could be why it sounded like it was coming from another room. It could also be the fact that these are wired up incorrectly because left and right were swapped, but you were also getting some of the left signal out of the right ear cup. So it could be a wiring issue in there which was causing them to sound like it was in a different room, but the frequency response is very interesting. It's not something I've seen before on something other than a torture device. It's pretty bad. Sorry to interrupt. I just need to clarify, after pulling these apart, I think that the Sony and the AirPods Max in this video may have been counterfeit. So just bear that in mind. They may not be the representation of the legit thing. These may be copies. And also, if you enjoy this kind of thing, obviously, like and subscribe. Especially subscribe. We're getting very close to 10,000 subscribers, and it's getting a bit exciting. Our social media lady really wants us to hit 10,000. So yeah, if you could hit subscribe, it'll make her happy, which will make me happy. Anyway, back to the thing. So let's have a look and see how these are made. Let's have a look inside. What on earth is inside these things? That's the most important thing. So, let me just save this. Xmas crap. Save. Okay, so that's got those saved before we forget. Okay, so let's start with the duck headphones, which are still my faves. They feel well put together. There's not a lot of, there's a little bit of rattle and creak, but generally pretty solid. They look nice. They've got the nicest. Oh, the pads click on. Look at that. It's not just a. Yeah, it's got a separate little ring adapter in there. It's got some foam in there. It's an extra piece of plastic that had to be injection molded. There was no need to do that. You could have just had the pad hook onto the driver or something. So whoever was holding the purse strings wasn't paying attention. Because yes, you could have reduced the part count by 1 part there. Saved some money. Okay. So this side, it's a pretty standard Chinesium driver. I think, you know, they're £1 or so. They're not very much. We've seen these in other things. Slightly cheesy screws. So here you've got the battery, and this one, as you can see, it's already inflated slightly. So it comes pre-blown. So it may be to save costs, they've used pre-inflated batteries. That is then soldered on to the wire that goes through the headband and then masking taped over. So that battery is worrying me. That looks like it's about to explode. Yeah, it's definitely releasing some gas and has inflated. That is a bad sign. Should we have a look? Let's have a look at the horrors in here. So inflated battery, held together with sellotape, and there's the actual driver. Just a cheap driver. No tuning has gone on with that. Poking a hole in the back, we might be able to get a little bit more bass out of there. But first thing, I can even smell this. That battery smells like it might be about to explode, which is exciting. Yes. So yes, I would definitely change that battery. To be honest, that is worrying. It does have a battery protection circuit in there, or something that looks like, or is it? No, it's not. I don't think it's populated. Well, yeah, battery danger. What's in the other side? Uh-oh, I just lost that one. Just lost a screw inside the driver. Just got sucked into the magnet. Oh well, the duck headphones. She is dead. Okay. Oh look, it's even got, don't know if you can see on there, on the circuit board, it's got a little picture of a duck. So it was actually designed for these headphones. Look at that, yeah, they've got it like custom screw bee duck circuit board. That's pretty cool. The actual stuff inside looks pretty legit. The buttons click nicely, it's got a decent socket. To be honest, these look alright. Like, they just don't sound great. I think with a little bit of love they could do, but I've definitely changed that battery. Yeah, the socket in the bottom looks pretty good. To be fair, that's not bad. It's not bad. And these were my pick for the best ones. I couldn't understand how the other ones even had anything inside. It's got a little bit of foam in there to cover this bass port. I think that could have been for a microphone for active noise cancelling, and then they've covered it up because they haven't gone for the active noise cancelling on this. But, you know, alright. Battery's the most worrying thing. I don't know whether they're deliberately using slightly iffy batteries or whether I've just been very unlucky and have a pre-inflated one. But duck headphones, they're alright. They're alright. They're pretty well put together. It's all held together with screws. The headband, you've got screws and decent like plastics that are as good as I've seen on some actual real headphones. Like the quality of the plastics is pretty good. The circuitry inside looked pretty good, and it gets points for having its own little duck printed on the inside for the duck headphones. The sound obviously is not good. They need to hire some guy like me to tune them, make them sound a bit better. And the battery is obviously terrifying. So let's have a look and see. So this is how a cheap pair of headphones is made. Let's see how more expensive. I think the Sony AirPod Max are sort of £400. We picked these up for, I can't remember, what was it? It was like 17, something like that. So yeah, we got them at quite a big discount from AliExpress. Got a jimmying screwdriver in there. Jimmy these open. God, they're so horrible. The plastics. Oh wow, look. Oh, the driver. The driver is on the ear pad, which is very unusual. So you just plonk that in there. These are very nasty plastics, badly molded. You can see you've got some depressions and things in here where the molding hasn't it's shrunk. It hasn't gone very well. But the finish on the outside is actually surprisingly good. See, this back part here, they've cheaped out on, and then they've actually got a decent finish on this. High gloss lacquer of some kind on there over the top of the colour. So a bit of love has gone into that to make it, it's the kind of details that Apple normally goes for. So let's open up the other side. These come apart nicely. I haven't had to undo any screws yet, which is good. And again, from a manufacturing point of view, it'd be quick to put them together. So again, very cheesy small magnet on the driver. The soldering is not good. That is. So it looks very lead based, the solder. Inside we've got the world's smallest battery. So again, the duck headphones have got these beaten on battery, but let's get a bit deeper. But the circuit board, again, it'll be pretty standard circuit boards that are used for lots of other headphones usually. So the actual circuitry inside is probably all right. They definitely give the front of these more love than the back, but again, save money where you can. Okay, right, so we got that part off. Okay, again, so they've used a 4-core wire to go through the headband, but they've only used 3 of the wires on this side, 2 of the wires on the other side. Don't know what was going on there. So again, the Bluetooth board in it looks all right, and it's got an SD card reader in it, which is quite unusual. I don't know, it's a JL processor on it, and this has actually got a microphone built in, so it might even be able to do noise cancelling. Not well, but it does look like it's got the facility for doing noise cancelling. Here's so we've got so here's the socket, USB, SD card reader. We've got these pretty alright clicky buttons. There's a microphone here for doing the noise cancelling. So clock generator probably for the Bluetooth, and that's the Bluetooth aerial. So inside, not like the circuit board is you could strip that out, put that in something else. That would be alright. The rest of this is rubbish. But it's quite interesting seeing that you've got the pad and the driver in one unit that pops out. It would have probably made manufacturing slightly cheaper. I've not seen that done before. So that's quite interesting. But yeah, the reason it's so light is because the plastics are rubbish, and also that tiny weeny battery. Yeah, not great. It's probably the cheapest battery they could find. So let's see how Sony have tackled this. Let's have a look. Again, this seems to be the new thing. So a separate plastic ring for the pad adapter. That seems to be how they're building headphones at the moment. There must be a reason for it. Okay, so we've got some 4 screws. This driver looks a bit bigger. Let's have a look. So that might be an optical illusion. So that's like a 35mm driver. Yeah, the same as the other ones. Again, very cheap feeling, tacky plastic, like the kind of stuff that you get free toys on the front of magazines made of, designed to last the afternoon. Certainly no glass fibre reinforcement in these, I don't think. Okay. So, again, tiny weeny battery in this one. I think the same battery as Apple used in the other ones. They got a different board. But yeah, so this board does not look like it was designed originally for these headphones, because they've had to make little adapters to make the buttons kind of work from the outside. So they probably picked up this board from something else and jimmied it to fit in here. But again, you have got, I don't know, let's have a look in here. Again, you've got a microphone here for noise cancellation. So I think these must have active noise cancellation built in. I think that's just a standard feature that you get. The socket for the headphones looks chunky enough, buttons are decent enough, Again, circuitry inside is fine. It's just the plastics and the very cheap battery that they've got. The soldering is much better on this one. The people that were soldering the Apple ones weren't nearly as good at soldering. The internal wire just feels a little bit nicer. So Sony have used better cabling on this. And again, you've got everything in one side. So rather than having the battery on the other side to balance out the weight like the duck headphones did, Sony have decided to put them all in the same. What's it here? So there we go. We've seen. Ooh, hello. And there is the driver. And again, they don't have any holes punched in the paper like some of them have, but they have got a little hole cut out. But yeah, the solder looks nicer. It's not as scummy. So yeah, the driver doesn't look like a standard Chinesium driver, but it probably will be. I've not seen one with an A stamped in the back there. That's a bit different. You can already see stress marks in the plastics here from where it was popped out, and these are not going to last many drops. But there you go. So that's what was inside our Christmas headphones. It was they've all got roughly the same size driver, and they all sound pretty terrible in their own way. But personally, the duck ones I think are the best. You've got a bigger battery. The battery's on the other side to even out the weight. The plastics feel much better. If you're going for it, I would ignore Apple and Sony. Go straight for B-Duck. They're the ones to get if you're looking Bluetooth headphones in that kind of sub £20 range. They seem the best ones that we've tested. So anyway, I hope that was vaguely interesting, and I'll see you guys again.